Hey everybody, NikoTheLegend here to give you another Let's Talk Mass Effect Roundup. Okay, so, as you can tell, I'm going to be using the phone for this one last video. This is probably going to be the only video that's going to be using a phone that's on the channel that's not edited or anything of that like, or having no links or nothing. I'll fill that all in later with the links and descriptions below. But if you guys have been following the channel, I really appreciate it, and all your support on post-Hurricane Irma. So I'll give you a quick update about that, like I did before. We're still on a full week with no power, but we have water running back at the house, and right now I'm at my roommate's mom's house, and not too far away. It's like maybe like a 20-minute drive from our house. But yeah, everything's still being cleaned up. There's still half the state doesn't have power yet. It's pretty crazy that a Cat 1 did so much damage. So, like I said, I appreciate your guys' support. So I just I guess you can say I have this fix or this addiction, right? Because like we all do, we want to post videos and talk about stuff just to keep our mind busy. And I got to get ready for work soon. As you can tell, I look like a giant hairball mess. So I'm going to do some shaving today. Not the beard, but just the sides here like that. It just looks like disgusting dirt. I picked it up from the ground. And NikoTheLegend doesn't want to look dirty for any fair lady that walks about. But anyway, let's get into this interesting topic that I wanted to go over real quick. I'll try to make this like a 10-minute video like usual. Maybe 11 minutes since I talked about something else real quick. So this one's going to be how I thought Mass Effect 4 was going to be with its storyline. As you can tell, Mass Effect Andromeda has already been established and released in March, and has done so much damage to the gaming community, Mass Effect fans, and everything alike. Of course, you know, I played the game, I enjoyed it quite well, and it still has its problems, very noticeable issues, and of course, you know, we can get into that like we've done so many times before. But there's really not much to talk about with Mass Effect, so that's the purpose of this. So what I thought that Mass Effect 4 was going to be, before I even knew it was Andromeda, it was like, you know, it's like kind of those discussions you have with your friends, you know, after a trilogy has come out, and are like, well, what can they do next? You know, after it's established that the fourth one is coming, but it's just very, very early stage. It's just like, if you watched the Nintendo Direct recently about the Metroid Prime 4 announcement, it's kind of like something like that. It's like, oh, it's in development, and that's it. That's all you get. You don't even get an official title. You might get a project name or something like that. But when Mass Effect 4 was announced, in the beginning, you know, my brother and I were just having one of those discussions on what it could be about and what it can do to make it really, really awesome and continue the storyline. And I'm really excited to hear what you guys type in the comments below on what you think the story should have been, or what you would have liked to see. You know, like if you were to make it the next storyline, what would you have made it? Would you have stuck with Andromeda? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what we were doing. And my storyline, I don't know, it's a little far-fetched, but it would have been really, really badass in a way. And we'll talk about how it leads into Andromeda, like a little bit, how I thought it was going to be still like that. So as you all know, Mass Effect 3 ends with Commander Shepard supposedly sacrificing himself against the Reapers, and depending on what decision you make, it helps decide the fate of the galaxy, you know, but obviously the ending was so so bad, you know, to a lot of people, thinking that none of our decisions even mattered. But if it did, and Shepard does survive, you know, there's one ending where he does survive, spoilers, and that's the destroy ending, and then, you know, galactic readiness times a million. And what I was thinking is that Shepard survives, right? And it's, you know how you romance a character in like every Mass Effect game? Well, one of these, maybe in 3 obviously, the person you romance has an offspring of Shepard. It can be with Tali, if you like that cross-species stuff. It can be with Miranda, it can be with Ashley Williams. If you're female, Kate Malenko, Garrus, you know how it goes. So yes, crossbreeding and, you know, interspecies and all that, and then not crossbreeding. But, you know, like I said, this was stuff that just sounded good in our minds, brainstorming, and just like, what the fuck type stuff. So I was thinking that your offspring is the main character of the game. And you're living in, like, in the big shoes of your father or mother of don't worry about the sounds. There might be some interruptions. It's the phone outside. Of what, I just lost my train of thought because of that dog. But anyway, so yeah, your character would be living in the shadow or shoes of Commander Shepard, this fallen hero, that even if he survives or he died, he's just presumed dead. He's just dead. And you're just trying to live his life. You want to be an N7. Depending on who your mom is, they're going to say different things about Commander Shepard. Was he renegade guy, piece of shit bastard, but I loved him anyway because it was tough love? Or he was this noble, heroic leader that just was just kind to everyone, no matter who they were. Kind of like a Goku thing. And, eventually, that's kind of like how it starts. And obviously you customize how your character looks. And if you wanted to, they would already have a default look on how your Shepard would look like with the interspecies or offspring, Kind of like how they did with Andromeda with your dad, You made two siblings, and then they would look similar to your dad, because your dad's the alpha, of that family tree. So it'd be kind of like that. See, they already have stuff like that I already wanted. And then the whole time there's, you're trying to figure out, some alien mystery, like not all the Reapers are dead, or someone's trying to bring the Reapers back, some crazy cult type, how it goes. There's a derelict Reaper ship that held a, vital information about some type of race, maybe maybe some, like the cat, for fuck's sake, because they were changing people into other species, kind of like the Collectors, So it had some similarities, with like some crazy thing about Andromeda, and then somehow it leads to Andromeda storyline in the next game, after, Mass Effect 5. But anyway, eventually you start hearing, well, there's just a couple storylines. The other storyline that I would like to have, the main one, would be that you're trying to look for your dad too, or your fatherly or motherly figure that is, supposedly dead, and you're spending this whole time retracing his steps, going to places where he's been. You've heard rumors, you get these leads, you talk to these people who've known him, like the party members, anyone who he's helped in the past that maybe was a valuable asset, and that wasn't so valuable during that time because of what was going on, but then becomes really, really capable of being a, not a one-way length character. So this whole time you're trying to look for your father, and then all of a sudden you just see some, kind of like Archangel with Garrus in Mass Effect 2, who was this masked badass, and you figure out it was Garrus. I mean, we all knew who it was to begin with, obviously, but, it was still cool to have that kind of, that mystery. But obviously it'd be played on a whole galactic scale, trying to look for Commander Shepard. And who knows how it happens. I mean, if you played Mass Effect 2 and your Shepard died, then the story ends there. But obviously it doesn't officially, because 3 is a thing, and so is Andromeda, sadly. But just think about it, like it's like, I always like that mystery in sci-fi, where it's like this unknown figure, or just unknown threat. And there's just so many possible variables on what it leads to and how you uncover it, especially when it comes to space games and all that. If you're like down-to-earth type of gamer, and you like playing games that aren't sci-fi, you like that medieval type thing, or you like present day, there's really not that much for the imagination. It's kind of all explained to you, but at least fantasy, you can make up anything, sci-fi or medieval fantasy, But that's kind of how my brother and I were talking about, like how they would be something really neat. Because you remember in Skyrim when Todd Howard was talking about how you were able to do interspecies and have siblings like that? Of like Argonian with Khajiit or some crazy fucking shit. And I remember seeing so many posts about people on pictures that they put up on like what it could look like, just disaster. But that was the point. The point, we would have had that freedom. And character customization would have been so key. Unlike in Andromeda, it was garbage. There was just no really great facial customization in the beginning. It was so bad. You can watch plenty of videos on that. Oh, it's just so notable. Not to just completely diss Andromeda, but some of the things that got me hoped for, some of the things that I hoped that Shepard might have been in Andromeda, because one of the teaser trailers had the female voice actor do the do a teaser trailer. And I could have swore she said Commander Shepard out if you're reading this message or something like that. Something bizarre like that that made me just be like, wait, is Shepard in this game? Is there hope that somehow he's in Andromeda somehow? Like that mysterious benefactor was Shepard? I don't know. But, you know, this was, like I said, all speculation before anything was concrete. Obviously, Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't concrete until a year and a half left of development. So you can only imagine what everybody was thinking before the first disastrous gameplay footage. Oh man, people are funny on the internet. So, guys, this has been a phone edition of Let's Talk Mass Effect. I'm terribly sorry if you hear a lot of wind noise or any type of dogs barking, but you know, I'm just trying to give you guys something. In case you can tell, I look like a homeless man. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think of what you thought Mass Effect 4 was going to be, and I want to hear it. That's going to be great. Keep supporting the channel. Like I said, I appreciate it, guys. We're very close to the 150 subscriber mark. We're only on 11 away, so I hope you guys do continue the support. And tell all your friends about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Goodbye, Pathfinders.